All right, number 10, we're going to graph this piecewise function. And so once again, we can kind of graph it piece by piece by hand. It wouldn't take a whole lot. One, we have a parabola that works when x is greater than 3. You can just plug in some numbers and make ordered pairs. Again, I'll show you both. We'll do it by hand, and I'll do it with the calculator just so you can kind of see what's going on. So if I was going to use the negative x squared, and this works when x is greater than 3, greater than or equal to 3. If I plug the 3 in, so I would do 3 squared plus 9. So this will give me 9 negative plus 9, that would give me 0. So I'll get the ordered pair 3, 0. Then if I plugged in 2, I would do 2 squared, it would be negative plus 9. So 4 negative plus 9 gives me 5. So it would be at 2, 5. Then if we were to plug in a 1 squared, 1 plus 9, negative 1 plus 9 gives me an 8. Okay, so generally the way this parabola would look, it would be opening downward, centered right here on the y-axis, okay, and we would get shifted up 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it would be pretty much opening downward. But we would start when x equals 3. So instead of me getting like the full parabola dotted down like so, I would only be picking up at the part that starts at 3. So 3 starts right here at 0. 1, 2, 3, 3, 0. And then we went, oh, I went the wrong direction, sorry. I put in 3, 2, 1. I should have been doing 3, 4, 5. So that won't work. Let's do 4. So if I do 4 squared plus 9, 4 squared, 16, negative 16 plus 9 will give me a negative 7. So from 3, I will go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4 and 7. Okay, this parabola would this would be like the long part. So imagine if I had the whole parabola, this dotted part is not part of it, it's cut off, and I'm only getting this part that goes down forever. So just a section of the parabola. That's the x squared. It's probably the hardest section to do. Then we have y equals x, which just goes straight to the origin. We are only graphing that from negative 2 to 3. So that means if I start at the origin, I go up right 1, that's 1 point, up right, that's 2, up right, that is 3. Okay, so I'll have this piece, and then the same thing going to negative 2, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. So I'll have this piece of a graph, and it would just be a segment. Because we are equal to 2, we would have a dot. Because we are not equal to 3, we would have an open circle here. And then negative 3, so y equals negative 3, which would be 1, 2, 3 right here, and that would only work when we are between negative 2, so here, and negative 4. This would be an open circle, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it would be a horizontal line until we got to 4, and it would be a closed circle. So this is the piecewise function that we would look at. Horizontal line, a slanted line, and then a piece of a parabola down here. So let's graph that. Okay. Turn it on. Y equal, we're going to clear out. Okay. Now, when we have these piecewise sections, the calculator can't do both at the same time. It won't allow me to do a compound inequality. I have to do them separately, so I'm going to show you how to do that as well right now. So the first part, we're going to do parentheses -3, and we're going to do divided by, and then we're going to open parentheses. I'm going to double open because I'm going to have two pieces. So double open, I'm going to say -4 is less than x. So I'm going to say -4 second math. I'm just kind of keeping it in the same order that it's in. -4 less than number 5 x. Nope, that's a 4. -4 less than x. Okay. Once I get that, I'm going to do and, because I have another piece, x is also less than -2. So if we go second math, arrow over to logic, and then you have to do this and, because we have two sections. You have to do it separate, otherwise it does not work. So we're going to do -4 less than x, keeping that orientation the same, and then we're going to do and x is less than -2. Second math 5 less than -2. Now I'm looking at this, I might have made a mistake earlier. Let me see. Yep, I put this as a closed circle, but this 4 is also open. So this should be, these both should be an open circle. Me going back and looking at that a little bit more carefully, seeing lines that aren't there. All right, so if I just graph this, okay, we should see this little piece of line right here. Okay, so just little line, that's this line right here. I'm going to go back to y equal, go to y2, and now I'm going to graph this section. So in parentheses, we're going to do x divided by, and then double open parentheses, we're going to do -2 second math is less than or equal to, so 6 less than or equal to x. And then we're going to do second math, go over to logic to get the and then we're going to do x is less than 3. We're going to close that. And then if I graph this piece, you should see this line right here in the middle. Okay. So piecing it together, we have that line, this line, and now I'm looking for this section. So if I go back to y equal, go down to y3, open parentheses, we're going to do -x squared plus 9 divided by, open parentheses, x greater than or equal to 3. Okay. So there's the piecewise function. We kind of drew it by hand and we have it in the calculator, so now we're going to build it on this graph. So I'm going to just do a segment. We're going to start at -3 at 4 and go to 2. We're going to put hollow dots both endpoints because neither one of those are equal. Then I'm going to do another ray, and we're going to go down one, right one, down one, right one. So starting at -2, and we're going to go up to +3. The left endpoint has a solid dot. The right endpoint will have a hollow dot because it's not equal to. And then we're going to do parabola. We're going to go up 3, up to 9. That's the vertex. open it downward, and then it says place another point. So another point that I want to place would be the one that we calculated, which was 3, 0. So I'm going to go to 3, 0. Okay, and then I want to cut. So it says enter a point where you would like to cut the graph, and then say done. So cut it. Let me see if I put in 3, 0. And then now that it's cut, I want to erase this piece. Okay, so you cut it, and then you can erase the piece that you don't want. All right, so that gives me the piecewise function greater than 3. I want to make sure it understands that I want a solid dot there. And then we've built our piecewise graph. We got a green check.